you have a best friend? You know, the kind of friend you can hang out with and play with and talk to and laugh with and sometimes just sit around and do nothing with. Someone who is just nice to have around. Most of us have someone like that in our life, or you will at some point. Friends are great, but best friends are friends with just a little bit more. Well, my name is Rusty Skipworth, and I'm the Youth and Children's Minister at Naperville Church of Christ. And today we are going to try and answer the question, did Jesus have a best friend? Well, the easy answer for that is yes. In fact, we could even say that Jesus had 12 best friends. But of these 12, the apostles, I know that you have heard about apostles in another episode of Bible Brainiacs. Anyway, of the 12, there were 3 that were especially close to Jesus: Peter, James, and John. Matthew 17, 1 through 3 says, 6 days later, Jesus took Peter and the 2 brothers, James and John, and led them up a high mountain to be alone. As the men watched, Jesus' appearance was transformed so that his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as light. Suddenly, Moses and Elijah appeared and began talking with Jesus. His closest friends were with him and shared this amazing experience with Jesus. And Luke 8:51 says, when they arrived at the house, Jesus wouldn't let anyone go in with him except Peter, John, James, and the little girl's father and mother. He brought them with him to heal a little girl that was very sick and maybe even dead. And then Mark 14:33 says, he took Peter, James, and John with him, and he became deeply troubled and distressed. This is in the Garden of Gethsemane, right before Jesus is arrested and then crucified, and he knew what was going to happen. In all of these cases, Jesus wanted those closest to him to be with him. But of these 3, there was one that was even closer to Jesus than the others: John. John is referred to as the one that Jesus loved in John 13:23, 19:26, 20 verse 2, 21 verse 7, and 21 verse 20. Not only did Jesus have John with him to witness his most amazing miracles and during the most troubling times of his life, but he also entrusted John with the care of his mother, Mary, after his death. And he also gave John the vision and words to write the book of Revelation. John was obviously very special to Jesus and could be considered his best friend if we had to pick just one. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing to have a friend like Jesus? Well, I have good news for you. Jesus is your friend. John 15:13 says, there is no greater love than to lay down one's life for one's friend. And that is exactly what Jesus did for us. He laid down his life so that we can be friends with him forever. But that's not all. He says in the next verse, you are my friends if you do what I command. And what does Jesus command? John 15:17 says, this is my command. Love each other. Jesus said that we are his friends if we just simply love each other in the same way that he loves us. It's amazing to have a friend like Jesus that loves us so much. So to answer the question of whether Jesus had a best friend, sure he did. And he still does. Me and you. If you have any questions for Bible Brainiacs or just want more information about Arrow Children's Ministry at Naperville Church of Christ, send an email to hskipworth@napervillechurch.org.